Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Mobi. I'm Dr. Mobi, and today we have an excellent guest, Dr. Hammad Hashmi, all the way from Pakistan. Let's welcome Dr. Hammad. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
It's good
great.
to you
Thank you. So, tell us about
to
what
here.
you
And
know. Yeah. Tell us what you normally do.
sir, I'm primarily by profession I'm a veterinarian.
Mm-hmm.
Um I did my graduation in 1989 from College of Veterinary Sciences, Lahore. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
then I pursued my career in private sector. Lately, I joined government sector, and then
Mm-hmm.
finally I switched to army. There, I spent 26 years,
Wow.
and now I'm working as additional director security and looking after the kennel club of my organization.
Thank you. That is a very important job, and especially also in US, veterinarians actually do really well because it's a very big practice for a lot of vets here, and they are really highly respected, especially with Department of Defense, and police, because a lot of their um, sectors they have, especially for the pets, and they are dogs. They use them a lot, for those training purposes,
I
customs,
have
border. Hmm.
my expertise primarily is in security working dogs,
Okay.
um, like drug detection dogs,
Uh-huh.
uh, armed explosive search dogs.
Hmm.
Then we train guard dogs,
Hmm.
uh, which you may call police dogs, or generally they are known as security working dogs.
Hmm. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about those. I mean, we love pets. As when I was growing up, I had dogs too. I had German Shepherd dog, and was actually trained by army. So, and it was very, very, good. You could play with it, and also uh, really disciplined one. So, tell us a little bit about some of dogs which you normally take care of.
Uh, the main security working dogs which we take on are German Shepherds, and then we have Belgian Malinois,
Mm-hmm.
then we train Labradors,
Mm-hmm.
Rottweilers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we also trained Afghan Kuchi
Okay.
as guard dogs. That uh, that is known as one man dog, but we trained him in basic obedience first,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then in agility training, and finally as guard dog.
Mm-hmm.
So you know these are main dogs which are used as police dogs or security working dogs.
Mm-hmm. So those are mostly used. Now tell me about how big is this section which you deal with? How many dogs are there in?
We have more than 50 dogs,
Hmm.
uh, and they all are predicted,
Hmm.
and we do breeding also,
Hmm.
and few of our staff they are trained for making them uh, wise enough for working as security working dogs. So few of them we train as guard dogs, and if there is some requirement, we
Hmm.
can also train them as uh, drug detection dogs also.
So right now there was also some mention about they were training dogs for COVID.
Yeah.
So
In
tell
fact,
me.
in Dr. Moby, it's very interesting thing
Uh-huh.
that the dogs in literature, it is there that dogs can hear more than 5,000 times a human can hear, and they can sniff even up to 180,000 times more than a human being.
Hmm.
So God has blessed them with this special thing. So we are here to, exploit this special quality of dogs,
Hmm.
and we can train them
Hmm.
in COVID also, and they are being trained. Uh, I have read that they have been employed in Europe
Hmm.
and in UAE for COVID.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And it was very exciting that they could even smell a lot of those people which were totally asymptomatic even. So I was reading the report, and it's very exciting that how animals, they are really blessed with a lot of things we can't even think of.
Especially these four-legged dogs. God has given them a lot of special parts.
Mm. Mm.
You must have seen them looking after the blind people,
Yeah.
sick people,
Hmm.
um, and on the other side, horses. They're also being used.
Okay.
Uh, you know,
So tell me also about dogs. Let's go through the process. Like, how rigorous is that when they take the new dog into the system? Give us some idea how long it takes to train them.
in fact, uh, up to 6 months age,
Hmm.
we call it a green pup.
Okay.
Till that age, normally we don't tie them, we don't chain them, we just let them have happy time.
Hmm.
But our trainers, they keep on observing them. If a
Okay.
dog has an instinct and showing his interest towards the roadside, towards sniffing,
Hmm.
so that puppy is picked. And if we see that some puppy is aggressive and showing violent behavior, so we pick that dog as guard dog training.
Hmm.
So, you know, these uh, puppies, by instinct, they show their temperament.
Hmm.
So we go by the temperament. Like pointers, they are very good sniffers. Labradors, they are very good sniffers. German shepherds, they are very good sniffers.
Hmm.
Then Belgian Malinois, they are excellent dogs.
Hmm.
They are with most of the armies, like American army, like Israeli army,
Hmm.
in India, Pakistan. We have this special breed of Belgian Malinois, and they have given tremendous good results
Hmm.
in, you know uh, in war on terror. These dogs have made enormous successes in fighting against terrorism.
So they made this job for army and police very easy because it's really helping a lot of to get those high, instead of using these high techs. I don't think we have high tech tools which could sniff a lot
No,
of
we don't
no,
have. We don't have.
we don't have.
Because this scent or smell of the explosives, it can
Hmm.
be only detected by dogs.
Hmm.
And I have already told you that they have excellent smelling power,
Hmm.
which is gifted by the Allah Almighty, the God.
Hmm.
So we need to have people to exploit
Yeah, yeah.
their potentials. And Dr. Moby, you were asking how much time it takes to train one dog.
Hmm.
So, sir, it takes 2 years
Wow,
minimum to train one dog as an arm explosive search dog.
wow.
Because after one trial, we keep on giving them trials
Hmm.
because it is a very important duty. We can't let anything forgo.
Hmm.
We cannot take anything for granted.
Hmm.
Lives, they matter,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
So we have to employ only those dogs
Hmm.
which are highly trained, and because you don't have a chance. If you miss it, then you miss it.
Yeah. So how do you train them? Do you kind of expose to them some of these smells
Yes,
gradually? They start
uh,
recognizing them.
we in fact expose them to different kind of explosive materials, so they are tuned to those specific uh, materials,
Hmm.
and they make no mistake.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
you can bribe people, you can hire people, something like that, but you can't bribe a dog.
Yeah. Well.
They love you unconditional. They work unconditionally well. If you give them love, they will work.
Hmm. Hmm.
So and this thing is priceless,
Hmm.
because we are training to safeguard the human lives.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's really hard to train these special commodity.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. That is kind of is important. But like I said, even robots cannot detect smell. I mean, there's very limited they could do. They can do temperature. They can do all kind of other things, but not smell.
There
Uh,
are some gadgets that which can only detect the metals.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
if uh, the thing inside the metal, only the dogs can detect that.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow. And so tell us also about, how, what is their normal life expectancy of such dogs? So let's say you get them as a puppy, you train them for 2 years, and how long they can be in service?
Uh, a qualified security working dog works for 6 to 8 years of his life.
Hmm.
After that, you have to gracefully retire him.
Hmm.
uh, you know you cannot force him to work beyond his capacity,
Hmm.
because there are two kind of school of thoughts. One say that 1 year dog's life is equivalent to 7 years human life, and the other school of thought says that 1 year dog's life is equivalent to 10 years human life. So if we take, it's a 60 years dog, you need to retire him at 60. So it is 6 years dog mean 60 years in equivalence with humans.
Hmm.
So if at all I have a dog, he's 9 years old, but he's working perfect. He
Hmm.
has still the same energy which he had 4 or 5 years back. But these kind of examples are exceptional and
Hmm.
very rare.
Yeah.
You can't make it a yardstick.
Yeah, you can make it.
Otherwise, dogs they can thrive up to 14 years, 16 years also.
Hmm.
But then at the age of 80, in comparison to humans, if he is 8 years or 6 years old, so you need to retire him.
Hmm.
They are very special commodity.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. No, no, they are definitely. So what is the usually average life of a dog?
As I already said, that it's between 14 to 16 years.
Oh, 14 to 16.
Uh,
Okay. And let's say if some dogs get injured, how do you manage those?
uh, Injury management is our staff who are working with them.
Hmm.
They are given the training of first aid. So on spot, they give them the first aid veterinary treatment,
Hmm.
and then we have special vehicles
Hmm.
uh, which are uh, regulated in both the season, winters and summers. So we carry them in those vehicles, and we use them as ambulances also. So they are brought to the facility where, as a vet, myself or you know people like me, they treat them.
Hmm. So, do you have also, beside explosives, do you have dogs for people with disabilities, blind, and also, you know,
No,
some?
momentarily in our setups, we normally train them as uh, arm explosive search dogs.
Mhm.
We train them as drug detection dogs
Okay.
because our borders are very porous.
Yeah.
So although now we have uh, fencing with the border of Afghanistan,
Hmm.
uh, but still, you know, so at our airports we have to have armed explosive search dogs,
Hmm.
and we also have the drug detection dogs.
Hmm. And so, here we have, I was also in army, and we used to have service dogs for blind and also for seizures, epilepsy. Then we had for trained for, and they were very high demand, for behavior therapy, those really depressed, so there were a lot of dogs associated with the army, but they were more kind of servicing both
So
vets and also servicing people who have disabilities. And they were such in high demand, it's unbelievable. So they just there was a long list actually to to get them. um, yeah, maybe one day it'll probably start here to, people will have.
definitely, we have in our mind that such kind of trainings we will also take on,
Mm, mm,
because what we do is, uh, first of all, we train every dog uh, in basic obedience,
mhm,
because we have to break him and make him uh, learn our training.
mm,
So till the time he is trained in basic obedience, like stay, come, you know.
mhm,
So till the time he is not trained in basic obedience, we don't switch him to the other trainings. Another training I didn't mention is that we train our dogs for avalanche rescue,
yeah, those
and
are very.
we also train our dogs for urban search training as well. Because in natural calamities like earthquakes, like floods, uh, our dogs, they had been doing tremendous job.
Mm, yeah, yeah, actually more than even humans can do. They can really identify with earthquakes. They could
Yes,
even really
uh,
identify a lot
our
of.
dogs, they had gone to Turkey, to Nepal, Sri Lanka in earthquakes.
So tell us. I know we mentioned a couple of German shepherds, and so which one is easy to train?
Um, in fact, it is with the trainer uh,
Mhm.
who is gonna train the dogs. But personally, what I feel is The German Shepherd is world's most versatile dog
Okay.
I have ever seen.
Okay.
You train him in avalanche rescue training, the German Shepherd would do that.
Mm,
You train him for arm explosive search. You train him for the mine detection search. You train him in any category as a guard dog. He's a versatile.
mm,
And another cat dog I mentioned is the Belgian Malinois. They are
mm,
also very intelligent security working dogs.
mhm. So they are very good. So also, for audience, you can also give some tips about dog care, and then we can kind of wrap up. So,
Um, well, there are a few things which a person who is keeping a dog should
mhm,
keep in his mind that every day, like we before going uh, out, we examine our car,
mhm,
our vehicle,
mhm,
gauges, we check the gauges, we check the air pressure, things like that. So early morning, we have to see our dog as well.
mhm,
We have to see his or her eyes, ears, uh, paws, feet, tail, undertail. So from there we can see whether our dog is keeping his health in good shape. One thing. Then we have to ensure that the vaccination, which is done to the animals on regular intervals initially and then annually,
mhm,
we have to ensure that.
mhm,
Then animals they interact these worms.
mhm,
For that, you need to give medicines which eliminate their worms regularly.
mhm,
So normally we say that after every quarter, you need to deworm your dog, your
mhm,
pet.
mhm,
Uh, then it comes to the feed. You have to ensure his feed. You have to then ensure his comfort uh, in home or outside.
mhm.
These are a
So,
few things, if you practice these things, uh, you can always maintain your dog in a healthy condition.
so what you're saying is it's very important to kind of take care of them every day. Don't just assume that they'll be fine. So,
We can't take our pet for granted as regard as his health is concerned.
mhm,
So these are few things, which will tell you uh, that because they can't speak, they don't speak.
mhm.
You have to judge by yourself.
Yep. So you have
So
to,
it's a big responsibility to keep and have a pet.
yeah.
It's a living being.
And also, any tips on food, what you feed them?
In fact, there are again different school of thoughts. One says that the conventional feed which we give at home is more energetic.
Mhm,
Uh, but on the other hand, now there are uh, thousands of brands of different dog food, cat food, pet foods are available. So I would recommend that the prepared food, the dog food which is available, any brand which suits you, which has balanced protein, fats, and other ingredients, uh, you should prefer those because it has less of the hassle to prepare for the pet. Otherwise, if you go for the conventional home food, uh, there's a lot of hassle in preparing that.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, well, thank you for coming to our show. It was wonderful. So, any final thoughts you would have for audience?
Um, I would just say that the dogs, especially in pets, they are a special gift from the Almighty. Uh, they love you unconditional. Uh, they they just love you because for you you have a family, you have other relatives and things like that. But for a pet, you are his entire world.
Oh,
So you have to look after him or her, you know, the fullest.
mm. Okay. Well, that's a really sweet and simple message, and very effective actually. That make sure you take care of them because they are very loyal, and then they're really relying on you, and you really have to take care, give them time and proper nutrition and care, and see the doctor, and that is so important. That's, I think, our moral, ethical, all kind of duty. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming to our show. And it was wonderful. And I think time is so short. I wanted to ask you about cats and others, but time is so short. So I thought start with dog.
Yeah, next time, definitely. I'm really very thankful, Dr. Mobi,
Mm.
for having me with you. I'm, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll
It was a
definitely
wonderful talking to you.
thank you. And we'll definitely have you back for more shows. Thank you. Take care. Thank
Thank you, sir.
you. Thank you. Take care and give us feedback and Twitter, email, whatever you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.